Hi everyone, I'm going to walk you through today how to create a Google quiz using forms, but I'm going to do it through your Google Classroom so it makes everything as streamlined as possible. So you're going to start out in your designated classroom that you want this quiz to be for, and up in the top on your tabs you're going to click Classwork, and whatever your classroom looks like, either way up here in the top left, you're going to click this Create button. And you're going to click the quiz assignment because this is going to allow Google to default a Google form as a blank quiz for you to fix. For the purpose of showing you, I'm going to put in what I have been working on with my own class. And if you look over to the right, you have all these different options. You can change your point designation for how much the quiz is worth. You can also change the due date, select one, and you can also choose a topic, whether you have one pre-existing or you're creating a new one at the time. Over here, you can also add a rubric that you have pre-existing from Google Sheets, or you can create one. For the purpose of this, we're just going to go ahead and start editing our quiz before we publish. So in our assignment, just at the bottom where it says blank quiz, we're going to go ahead and click that, and it's going to take us to this new blank quiz. We're going to double check our settings. Before I start making questions, I always like to look at my settings. So at the top center, we have our 3 tabs. I'm going to click in settings and I'm going to check a few things. First, this is a quiz. We know that for sure. So we're going to make sure this is toggled on. And then I like to scroll down and I like to actually uncheck showing them the correct answers. I like to reduce the opportunity for students to share that with each other. I'm often teaching the same prep in multiple classes, so I don't want them going around and sharing that. I will give them feedback at a later date. So up in these top tabs, I have my settings selected. I'm going to go back to questions. And I always delete this first default question. It doesn't have anything saved to it. So over here to the right, your toolbar will pop up and I'm going to click add a question, that very first option. You'll see the question is already toggled as required and it already has a point designation. So you can go ahead and enter a multiple choice option here. But what I like about Google quizzes in the form setting is that you can choose a number of different questions. You can have them provide a short answer. But what I really like, for instance, right now is I'm testing plot. I want to make sure my students can identify different points of plot. So I'm going to choose the multiple choice grid. I'm going to show you how I would set this up. So I'm going to ask my students to order the events as they happen in the story. And then I'm going to throw in a few things that happen in the story. And I'm going to put them a little bit out of order, and just for the sake of this, just as some examples. And one more so you can see. And then I'm over in the next column, I'm going to click over here and I'm going to just label first, second, and third, and then obviously I would give more if I needed to. But your answer key will default how many points you have based on how many options are given. But I'm going to go into the answer key and I'm going to select the correct responses based on how they present. The nice thing is students will get awarded the points based on what they answer correctly. So I'm done with that. I'm going to click done. And the last thing I'm going to do before I'm ready to publish my quiz, up in the top right, you have a list of tools. I'm going to click preview. And this is exactly how my students would see the question, so I know it works. They'll be able to go in and answer the question by clicking on the buttons, and that seems like it would make sense to them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep creating my questions, but I hope this was helpful, and hopefully this will be a quick paperless way for you to get that assessment data very quickly. Thank you so much.